G'day guys, ZiggyD here and welcome back for another recap on my learning of the Summoner in Path of Exile. I'm level 48 at the moment, so we'll call this like the level 50 recap. We're towards the end of Cruel, currently just got into Act 3 and have been farming some docks with you guys live on stream, so we've been making some viewer parties and farming live on stream. We'll be continuing today when this video goes up as well, so make sure you stop by the stream, there'll be a link in the description below. But so far it's been pretty good. We're still sort of leveling as Spectral Throw. In the last episode you saw I was using Joffrey's Baptism. I said I'd let you guys know what the next progression is in terms of weapons. And Rigvald's Charge is pretty much it. You get Rigvald's Charge. Let me check the double check the level on this. I think it's 44. Yeah, you get Rigvald's Charge at level 44, and this can pretty much carry you right through until the end of Merciless. So this will be the last unique weapon that I'll be using in terms of this leveling. So I know you guys have been pretty curious about what sort of unique weapons to level with if you're leveling with Spectral Throw, and there's such good variety. But that's sort of the progression I've covered over these two videos has been sort of what I've found to be the best, and what everyone else has sort of said to be they've had the best success with as well. Rigvald's Charge is pretty amazing. It's got really high attack speed and damage, and the additional move speed on there is amazing. So, not to mention the accuracy is probably pretty considerable at this point as well, because if I take that off, I go down to 85% chance to hit. When you're playing a spec that isn't spec'd at all to do Spectral Throw, man, there's a lot of spec in that sentence. But when you're doing that, so you know we don't have any nodes that support Spectral Throw, really, just some incidental ones, and then the bit of it, not having any accuracy can hurt you a bit. 85% is a bit rough on sort of an attacking skill, but 90% brings it up, so the extra accuracy is pretty nice. The Rigvald's Charge is very nice. I think it costs usually around 1-2 chaos, though probably a bit more in a new league, because the new leagues will be starting up pretty soon. But still, using the Worm's Molt, that Mana Leech really makes it a lot easier to support Spectral Throw while leveling. And in terms of other setups, I've got some, I've just been sticking with some nice life and resist gears for now, and just trying to get the links I need to start running some skills. Still using Bones of Allure and Citter Breath. I'll be using these probably throughout the rest of my summoning experience, and we'll eventually switch over to some more summoner appropriate gear, including a shield and one-handed weapon, which the one-handed weapon I've decided is either going to be Brightbeak or Umvarax. Now, why would I do attacking weapons? The reason for this is the weapon doesn't matter all that much for the summoner. There are some like summoner-specific weapons you can use, and there will be things like Queen's Decree that we'll use to snapshot when we cast our zombies and stuff like that. But for the most part, the weapon you just carry around with you while your summons are killing everything is just a stat stick. So Brightbeak gives you 30 to fire and lightning resist, and the other option is a Umvarax, which gives you a huge boost to all resist. I think it's like 40 or 50%. The only drawback to a Umvarax is it gives you minus 20% rarity, so that's a little bit annoying. It's not a big deal, so you kind of have the choice of Brightbeak, which has a less resist but no drawback, or a Umvarax, which has more resist but the drawback. So I'll decide what I need, but the good thing about being able to put resist on your weapon means that you can run pretty much any other gear. So when we're running things like this and things like this that don't have any resist on it, well, that has 25 resist, I suppose, but when you're running, less than optimal gear, you're not running all good rares, having those extra resists is pretty helpful. Not to mention, with Brightbeak, you can always put Leap Slam on your toolbar as well, so you can have a bit of extra mobility. So that's pretty good stuff so far. Let's go into Sun here. I don't want to jump into docks in case I rip in this video. That would be devastating. I know people would be pretty upset if that happened. But I've been currently running Purity of Elements and Clarity. Clarity definitely became mandatory to run, so I've got that around level 5, I believe. And that's really helped with some of the mana issues I've been having. And also made it a lot easier to cast zombies and things like that. But Purity also helps keep your zombies alive, and also just helps max out those resists. We're maxed out, which is pretty important for finishing up in Cruel. So in terms of other links I've got going on now, we've now got my Raised Spectre linked up in its full link for now. There we go, Beer Beast of Bro Deals gets on YouTube. But we've got Raised Spectre linked to just currently added fire damage, remote mine, and minion and totem elemental resistance. This is just sort of a very generic setup. We can switch this around a lot. It by no means will be my end game setup. I'll probably use something like Tabula Rasa's or 6-link Spectres later on. But zombies are on minion damage, melee splash, and minion life, and I'm kind of reaching the point now where my minions are actually starting to stay alive. I'm running, an Enfeeble and stuff like that as well, which helps them out. But generally speaking, I can get into the start of a map, cast these guys up. As you can see, the zombie cast mana takes quite a bit, but I can use potions to sort of get these guys going. But usually they stay alive pretty well now. They'll die every now and then. Certain things will kill them very quickly, like less multiple projectiles, Void Bearers, and Vile Smashers, and things like that. But they're sticking around a bit more now. They're actually making a considerable difference. So a few other people. Oh, this is the interesting thing. We've been learning how to snapshot with remote mines. Pretty difficult, but you can hold A to corpse target and then detonate the mine and sort of get that happening. I think I can get up to 2 specters now. So we'll just get those guys there. I'm just sort of using whatever generic specters now. But my army's been doing pretty well, so we'll run through here. So I've had quite a few people suggest to me that although leveling with Spectral Throw is certainly very good, it's the more expensive option. If you wanted a cheaper option for leveling as your summoner, the Summon Raging Spirits skill that's been added into the game just recently is supposed to be very powerful for leveling with, and I can definitely see why that might be the case. I'm putting down my Vitality totem every now and then when I'm noticing that health is a bit low, and as you can see, they do pretty well. They do good damage, and they certainly keep me alive as well. So the Summoning Raging Spirits, you know, it blocks things like cold chains and lots of different projectile attacks and stuff like that, and also does pretty good damage, and it gives you a bit more of an active thing to do while you're summoning your minions. So there goes one of my Spectres. Should probably keep that Vitality totem going. Spectres definitely dying more than the zombies at the moment, but the zombies doing pretty well. So I'll tend to, while leveling, just level raised range Spectres like Skeletal Archers or Tentacle Miscreations and things like that have a bit of range, so they tend to stay alive a bit more. But so far, pretty fun. It's been a lot of fun leveling this, and I'm starting to pick up a few things about Summoner. And as we get more into more into endgame, I think we'll learn even more. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Remember to stop by the stream if you want to level live and maybe get a chance to jump in a leveling party as well. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.